Oh, right. Yeah. So full disclosure, I watched this full week ago.
Yeah.
So let's see how this goes.
Oh, you didn't rewatch it again? Because
I was really thinking I was going to, and then I thought about it last, and I was like, boy, I just don't like this movie enough to watch it again.
oh, I thought you might like this one.
Nope.
Hey, watch him! With Dan and Tony! Hey, watch him! With Dan and Tony! It's like watching, yeah!
Welcome to Hate Watching with Dan and Tony. I'm purple.
I'm maroon.
It looks like you're purple too.
Well, your purple's different than mine, so I was trying to what's a different shade of purple?
Slightly different shade of purple.
Well, then the color. I'm the other color purple. Oh, that would have been a good joke.
The other color purple.
Oh, damn it! Can we start the show over again? I got a great joke, Dan.
Oh, you got a great joke. Nope, we can't.
Yeah, fair enough.
On this show, we watch a movie, then we talk about the movie. This week, Tony picked a movie.
Wait, hold. Yeah, I picked a movie, and right before we went live, I was like, I didn't like this movie, and you were like, oh, I thought you were gonna like the movie, and now you're telling me it's not even a movie.
It actually,
you put quotes around movie.
It actually is a movie. Truth,
It barely.
Oh wow! I think it conforms to movie. Okay, I mean, it doesn't. It doesn't. It's a weird one. What is it, Tony?
So this is Cleaner, not The Cleaner, which is what I thought it was forever since I saw the trailer. But it's just Cleaner. Daisy Ridley.
What's
her name?
Not Daisley Ridley.
Daisy. I like Daisley.
Ridley.
I think that's nice.
You'd make her stand out.
Clive Owen for 3 to 4 minutes. You buy him for one day, and that's all you can afford. That's a good move.
And some guy they hope becomes a star.
Well, so I was doing that is the only research I did.
That was the one question I had.
Who the hell is this guy? Because one, I didn't think he was very good, and we'll get into that more. But you kill Clive Owen and give the reins to this frickin' twerp.
Wow!
Apparently,
frickin' twerp. I don't know if I was going to go that hard on him, but
I'm not a fan of this guy. But he's a huge social media star. He's got like 2 million followers on Instagram. So I'm assuming that that's kind of the idea, is that he's got a following, so maybe people will see the movie because he's in it.
Wow!
I don't know, but he wasn't very good. So I think this is not going to work. This reminds me of, I don't think we did it, but did we watch He's All That, the sequel to She's All That?
I did not know there was a sequel to She's All That.
Shoot, I should have picked it for this show.
Just this week referenced She's All That because we were watching something and there was a woman on there and she looked just like what's her name when she dressed up as a man. I was like, kind of giving the She's All That vibes. I'm like, not really what you want to go for.
I'm glad that you referenced it, though. Keep it in the pop culture moment. That's good. Anyhow, He's All That hired this lady who's a massive, massive social media star.
Oh, I think
it didn't work.
I think you talked about this.
Nobody saw the movie,
how terrible it was.
Even though, well, I mean, yes, it was bad, but also nobody saw it because people that watch social media for 1 to 2 minutes tops don't want to go see a whole movie. It's not a big crossover audience. So anyhow, I don't think it's going to work out for them.
Just because you're a hot dude on the social medias does not mean people want to see you be an action star.
Yeah, and he's weird looking. I mean, if you go to his social media, that is all very like, oh, I'm so sexy. Look at my chest. But
so it is just glamour shots. It's not him actually.
A lot of it is glamour shots. Yeah, he's also an adrenaline junkie. So there's that.
Wow. Okay.
So anyhow, I had to look that up because I was like, who is this guy that they think can be the villain?
Does he do the jumping out of the plane with the suit that doing that shit?
I don't know, maybe.
That sounds great.
You want me to do a deep dive on his Instagram right now, live on the show, everybody? His name is Taz Skyler, which can't be his real name.
I'm sure he's born with that name, Tony. What shall we name him? We're bringing a new Skyler into the world. This one shall be the Taz Skyler.
Tasmanian Skyler.
Make it copies.
I don't know about him.
Okay, so the movie's The Cleaner. No, the movie is Cleaner.
Cleaner. Yeah, not The Cleaner.
It turns
She's one
out
of many.
Daisy Ridley is a window cleaner.
I would disagree. Just based on this movie, she might have that job, but she does not do the job.
This her doing it.
Just awful. Just so bad. Maybe there's not really a window there. Maybe that's how fake it is. Maybe she's just in the middle of the air pretending on a green screen. But she's not cleaning any windows.
Did you think
if she came to me at a stoplight and tried to squeegee my windshield and did a job like that? I'd be like, no tip for you, lady. Get out of here.
No. Wow. Tony's no tipping. Look out. Did you think that maybe at some point there would be like some meta understanding of what cleaner means? Like
maybe she'd clean up the mess?
I guess something, because it was so not that. It was just kind of like the window cleaner was not really part of her character. It was just an explanation as to why she was in a location.
Yeah, why would she ever be in this building? She cleans windows. I don't know. Okay, guys.
Now I have another question for you.
Yeah.
Which I could ask later, but I'm going to ask now just because. She works at night.
Yeah.
Do you think there's any window cleaner in the world that works at night?
Honestly, I don't know. I don't live in a city. You know what I mean? I live in a suburb, so window cleaning not a huge thing here.
True.
But I do feel like generally you see them in the mornings.
You would think so.
Right? Like, I feel like a nighttime hanging from a building just adds a bunch of unnecessary danger to it. I don't know. Maybe I could be wrong.
And yeah, okay. Let's talk about the movie. Talk about. We set up the beginning of the movie. Let's see her as a child. What happens in her childhood?
She crawls around on the cupboards.
There it is. It's like
so stupid.
Okay. Scene 1, Act 1. Child crawls around on her cupboard while her parents beat her autistic brother in the other room. And she doesn't even crawl to get away. She just sort of starts on one side of the room, crawls across the other side of the room, crawls on the window for some unknowable reason, which seems incredibly dangerous. Opens the window and then just kicks her legs out the thing and enjoys the London skyline.
London breeze, as they say. And that's your opening. That's your action-packed opening. That's how you start the movie. Just like, well, she's a climber. Keep that in mind. Keep that in mind, everybody.
But don't keep that in mind, because when she does climb, she's all like this. Oh, Jesus. Oh, my God. Isn't that the one thing that she should be like? She should be freaking Spider-Man since she's been...
No. You see, you're misunderstanding. So she climbed when she was 8. And then didn't climb anymore until this movie. This was like bringing it back out in her. You know what I mean?
Okay.
This is the dumbest intro to a movie. And I feel bad laughing because when you describe this scene, it's very traumatic. The way they're screaming at this poor child. But it's hilarious. And the whole time you're like, okay, is something going to happen? No, it's not going to happen. She doesn't even need to climb on anything. She just climbs up on the cupboards and like Spider-Man's around for no reason. She could just walk up the sink. That's all she has to do. I don't understand a 1 second of this intro at all.
There's not like traps between her and that window. Right. She's not like navigating the dad has put fly paper out just to like make sure she doesn't do this. Or
if she snuck out the window and did like a cool like shimmy down the building to a neighbor's house because that's her solace, when her parents are yelling. Yeah. I'd be like, oh, okay, she did something. She does nothing. She accomplishes nothing in this scene.
And then once she gets to the window, she's just like,
she just hangs out. Yep. She's just like, oh, great. Now I can't
Come
hear them
on.
3 feet behind me.
yeah, she can still hear it. And it doesn't seem overly concerned that the dad's going to come in there and push her out the window or
Oh my
she,
God.
I mean, that's when the beating is coming, you're like freaking out. She's just
you
like,
gotta
no.
go. Yeah, she's cool.
Flipping butts.
It's bizarre. Real weird.
20 years later, wakes up. I found my new pet peeve for every movie.
Oh God, yeah. What is it?
My new pet peeve is the alarm goes off. She wakes up. She has tattoos and a full beauty makeup.
Ah, yeah, for sure.
I can't take the full beauty makeup with perfect hair. Like mess your hair up a little and then have her run a comb through it. You can't wake up with perfect hair. You just can't.
No, I never do. And look how short my hair is, and there's still like tufts every time, and I gotta wet it a little and just kind of fix it, just smudge it just a touch. Because otherwise people know. You get little, what are they called? Colics? Is that what they're, when they like, there's like a line?
I think they're called cowlicks.
Cowlicks? Like as if a cow licked my head and then it stuck up? That can't be right.
Is that
right?
Conan O'Brien's hair? That move is a cowlick. Absolutely.
Well, then what's a colic? Isn't that a
colic
thing?
is what babies get when they cough and shit.
Oh, it's a bad thing. Oh, it's when a healthy baby cries inconsolably for prolonged periods. Okay, well, I don't have that.
Thank God.
You're right. I must have a cowlick.
Yeah, it's cowlick.
Been saying that wrong for 40 years of my life. Great.
So we throw on some rock music. We do a montage. Tony, what time was she waking up at?
Oh, I didn't even notice what time the clock said. I bet it said 9 o'clock.
11:30.
PM, AM. Damn it, idiot.
No, PM.
So it's almost
starts at night. She's going to work at 11:30 p.m.
Going to work at 11:30 p.m. That's how can you even sleep that late? How old is she? She's 28, 29, maybe 30.
Yeah. No. Well, just 20 years later, she was not 9 or 10. She was.
You don't think
7,
so?
I would say she was 7 or 8. That's what she seemed like.
I couldn't climb like that when I was a child, so I don't know when that comes. But that's too old to be sleeping.
Like 11:30, they don't even give an explanation as to why she's sleeping.
Was she out partying last night? What's going on here?
Well, actually, she has no life that we know. Like,
sure,
she has no time for her brother, really. But she also doesn't have a life because she's a window cleaner. So she's off
she
at 6.
sleeps all the time. How can she hang out with her brother? She's got to get 12 to 15 hours of sleep a day.
She takes her motorcycle, but she gets a call that her brother's in trouble. So she goes. Her brother is supposedly autistic.
Yeah.
We just watched the new season of Love on the Spectrum, and
great
show, great people, great everything about that show's 100% wonderful. And you're just like, you're going to cast like a totally non-neurodivergent person as someone with autism, and then just make it weird. You're just like, be autistic-y sort of now. You can't do a thing, so just say, well, my autism just kicked in and I can't walk up these stairs.
Yeah, we shouldn't talk because we're not a part of the community. But do in general, would people say, like, call it out like that?
That they have autism?
That it's happening. Like, he seemed to, like, when it was triggered, he called it out several times.
There's a lot of, and that's the thing about it is, you have a lot of things you can look at to try to build a character that's autistic.
Sure.
And you have to give them some, because he doesn't have any mannerisms. He has no mannerisms. And everybody on like this show and the people that you see, even if they're pretty darn functioning and living on their own and, doing all these things, they still have very interesting, very particular mannerisms that build into that character and are, like a lot of people have hard time eye contact, and I know, like with me, I hated eye contact for 30 years of my life. I never did eye contact with anyone. I hated it. I never knew why, but it's one of those things where you're like, when you're a person that's like that, things like that kind of stuff happens to you. I'm not saying I'm autistic, but I could feel some of the impulses that these people have at times, and you're like, oh, okay, I see where this is coming from. And so, and why was he autistic?
Yeah, I mean, there's no other than maybe the sympathy card, right? I don't know. I don't know.
He doesn't, he isn't like a limiting factor in her adventure. I mean, other than him being there.
Right, and maybe that was their only way of being like, well, why would he be stuck there?
Yeah, you're making him autistic so he can't take a taxi or can't take care of himself, and that she has to take care of him like he's a baby, kind of.
And she doesn't really do that.
No.
So even if that's your reason, it's not a good reason.
Yeah,
I don't know.
It's very, very built in. So he's at this. I don't know if it's kind of a school. It's a care home. And so he's gotten thrown out. Okay.
Of another one, right? They say another one.
This is the ninth one. We do a bunch of bits with that. This is where they save their comedy, is to like do bits about the autistic brother. And you're just like, oh God, this is your bits.
Well, you
don't have a lot of time for other bits.
Yeah, I wish that there were. Trust me.
So her motorcycle doesn't work, unknowable reasons. They try to catch the bus. She keeps cursing. He doesn't like her cursing for an unknowable reason. Also, a bit that we'd never play out in the rest of the movie.
Yeah,
never happens again. You set up a big
which
thing.
You would think the cursing would get worse with all of the murdering that's about to happen, but it's fine.
Nope. We'll set up a character interaction. We will never use it again.
Or even like with the bad guy at some point. That would be, that'd be a fun little bit to run.
She gets there just in time. Oh, she rides in the elevator with the big boss guy, and then he says something rude to somebody, and then she mouths off to literally one of the richest people on the planet.
And, in a roundabout way, her boss,
Yeah, and then she goes up to see her boss, and then she seems to think she's insulated somehow. A person who is a piece of shit window cleaner who can be fired for no reason.
But she is apparently, because the boss knows. The boss says something and is like, "Oh, you lipped off in the elevator," and she's like, "Yep," and that was it.
That was it.
Because then the boss is like, "Hey, we need to fire her," and somebody says you can't fire her. Didn't all that happen? And there was no like real reason other than like, well, it'll look bad if you fire her, so don't do it.
Like,
I don't know, man. I have no idea. Nobody would ever know if they fired a window cleaner. Nope, that wouldn't make the papers. let's just say that.
Talk to me about the window cleaner control center.
Is that what it is? Because I was so confused. When they walked in, I was like, okay, this is the security room. But it's all controls for the what is this thing called? The trolley, the vertical trolley. What would you call that in a painter's?
They call it something. Yeah. We'll just call it I think I called it the elevator.
All right, the outside elevator, we'll call it. Yeah. So I'm confused and it seems like both of those people in the room were dedicated to comms with the cleaners.
He has a thing literally within hand's reach that can control her elevator.
But I assume the other ones are also other elevators, right? Like I think he's got I'm so confused. And again, I've never done this job.
I'm going to tell you something, Tony, about those elevators.
I want you to tell me.
The person sitting in them controls them.
Well, sure, yeah, there's like in the corner, there's a little joystick, right? And that's how you get, because listen, if I'm getting in that machine, I better have control of where it goes.
Nope.
Because that's ridiculous.
I have to talk to some random dude back at the security to
be like, hey, Bill, can you bring me up now? And then Bill's at lunch and he didn't tell you, you're stuck there? What's going on? This is so weird.
So weird. Such a conceit that just doesn't make any sense. It's just so this weird guy has control over her for the beginning of the movie so that he has control over her and can be evil to her. It's almost like he's not firing her so he can just continue to be evil to her.
Maybe that's how he has fun. He hates his job. The one solace he has is getting to, bully this young lady. Now, Dan,
Yes.
we should have talked about it when you talked about the bedhead, but how did you feel about her hair in this movie? You're a pro short hair guy.
9 out of 10.
9 out of 10 is wild to me.
She's beautiful. Oh, yeah, she's incredibly beautiful.
With this hair,
Yeah.
for me, this hair, 2 out of 10 for me. It's the bottom of the barrel.
Just send her my way.
I can't believe. I figured. I had a feel. I was like, Dan loves the short hair. I don't know what it is, but you love short hair.
She's incredibly attractive.
I agree. That's why the hair to me throws it all. It doesn't matter. I figured you were into the hair, and I just had to check.
I mean, it's not. There's nothing special about it, but it's nice. It's an attractive shortcut. Yeah,
sure.
It's not like cool. Like it's not. Who has. Oh yeah, what's her name? Like in Charlie's Angels, what's her name? Had a cool short haircut.
K-Stu.
K-Stu. Yeah. She had like really, she had like, multiple colors and, doing a whole thing.
Yeah, no, I agree. I agree with that. That's true.
The brother is left downstairs with Big Ron, who's like this character who we get to never really spend any time with.
Yeah, really thought there was going to be more because there's a lot of talk about Big Ron and how he's trustworthy. Yeah, like I really thought Big Ron was coming back in the third act. He doesn't.
Does he? Did they kill him? They must kill him at the beginning.
I feel like they have to, but nobody made a big enough deal that I noticed. But we were at the end of the movie, and I kept waiting for Big Ron to come back, and I just kind of gave up. I was like, I guess he's dead. I must have missed it.
Must be dead somewhere. He got cut out. So the bad guys in this thing run an energy corporation. There's going to be a big party tonight. The big oil guy is Gerald. I think they set up that he had diabetes at one point.
Something, because he had to do something. So was it a shot? Maybe it was diabetes.
Never comes back.
Yeah, again, it doesn't matter. So
she goes and changes into her window washer outfit at her locker and wistfully looks at a picture of her and her brother as children. And you're like,
very confusing.
Why?
For multiple reasons.
It was a weird shot, right? You were just like, why are we doing this now?
It's a weird shot, but it's also weird because the one time we saw her as a child was a traumatic experience.
Oh.
So I don't generally think that she had a good childhood. So having looking back on those memories wouldn't be happy to me. One.
Oh,
Two, she doesn't seem to give a shit about her brother. She won't take care of him. She keeps dropping him in different homes. I don't know what they're called.
Care homes.
Care homes. She doesn't seem to care about her childhood or her brother. So to have her stare at a picture of both of those things was very weird to me.
Usually what it is, it's like, I have to keep this job so I can pay for what you need to survive.
Take care of. Yes, and that makes sense.
You can't live with me because I have 2 roommates and it's just never going to work.
Because to pay for your stuff, I can't pay for my stuff.
I can't afford my own apartment. There are these very easy things to do, but they have set her up with her own apartment that she seems to be able to sleep until 11:30 and then go.
A pretty good one.
Go to work at 2:00 to 6:00. So she works 4 hours a day.
4 hours. Hey, I'll take it.
What the hell? She's living on 4 hours a day? Like,
how much do you think window cleaners get paid? Window cleaner salary. The average hourly wage in Los Angeles
is where we live.
$26 an hour. You can't live off
that. That's
100. 4 hours a day?
That's 100.
Come on now.
Minus taxes, that means she's making $70 a day.
That explains why she can't afford a motorcycle.
Doesn't she live in London?
Yeah, she does. It's definitely not here, but that's the first thing that Google came up because AI's tracking
London, one of the most expensive cities in the world to live in.
For sure.
Okay, boom, boom, boom. Goes to locker. Then she goes out there and she goes down to like this one super specific window and starts cleaning. And her cleaning is like a little spray bottle. And then she just sort of goes like, this building is gigantic. You cannot be like,
She's got a little music. Boop, boop, boop.
You're working if you're cleaning a building that big, and there's only two of
Especially
you.
if you're only working 4 hours. That's a lot of building to cover.
Then this other second cleaner shows up. I don't really get his name. I don't know who he is.
He's the bad guy.
See, I'm setting up my bitch, Tony.
Oh, you know what? Let's take that again.
So
Let's go back to
this
what?
random dude shows up and he's all like, and they like sort of banter, but it's just
They
kind of like
sort of banter, but also sort of very much not banter, which makes sense later to me. But in the moment, you're like, what's happening? One, if we have cameras and people controlling all these things, would you really be able to rappel down next to another window cleaner and just talk for 5 minutes? Like, I feel, again, we got a lot of building people be on the comms be like, hey, guys, shut the fuck up and go to work.
And this is on window 1, right?
This,
and dude's going to be walking
started.
around. You're like, and if you want to run a bit, and actually the guy that's her boss is just really weird. He doesn't feel like her boss. He feels like he has some different job that it just doesn't feel like the guy that should be giving her shit. He just seems like a sleazy nightclub owner.
Yeah, he is. But sleazy elevator controller.
Something happens with Big Ron. He has to go out and yell at a van, and so the bro has gone rogue. Everyone's getting ready for the big shareholder gala. Then we more talk with the buddy. She got him the job. Wait. She got her buddy the job.
Right.
So
which is a fine way to set that up, but you don't pay that relationship off later.
Yeah, like how does she know how? That's weird.
I assumed it was like Army because she's Army, right?
But
She got kicked out of the Army or
he's
something.
Not Army.
Yeah, no, he doesn't. He never says that. No, so I just assumed that was coming, and I don't think it ever was clarified.
Huh. Okay. Very weird. Okay. She better. There's also there was a maid in the elevator, and I'm like, oh, this maid's going to play a big part. She kind of comes back for 1 second.
Yeah, a little bit.
And then she disappears forever. Gerald goes and does, the big energy boss goes and does coke.
As you do. Yeah.
Her brother is just screwing around on different floors for unknowable reasons.
Yeah, he's just kind of, he's running around, having a good time, living his life.
So then the window washer boss sends the elevator lift down. We call it the lift. And then,
the lift. That makes sense.
She gets in it, and then he fucks with her. And
because she's supposed to go to a window that got bird poo on it, right?
No,
or a bird strike.
Bird strike. It means a bird crashed into it.
Bird strike.
Killed itself.
Okay,
so it's dead.
Yeah, very sad. Very sad. And she's kind of not doing that.
No, she is avoiding doing that. Oh, I'm not going to do that.
So let's just break it down real quickly. This lady, who's doing great, has this job. She talks for the first 10 minutes of her shift, cleans maybe one window, doesn't do the one thing that she was asked. She's terrible. Why does she still have a job? She's terrible. Lipped off to the boss. Why is she
barely showed up on time? Showed up late.
She was like late
and barely showed up at the. She was. I'm 17 seconds faster than the late hour. You're just
she needs to be fired immediately.
She's terrible.
She should not have a job.
And then she slips in the lift, drops a sponge. It goes all the way down. Hits a dude on the street.
Murders him, right? He's dead?
Well, it's just a sponge.
But it's wet. It's a wet sponge. That's heavy. I think this guy's dead. I think this crushed his skull.
They shoot it comedically.
Yeah, no, you're right about that. But there's nothing...
It is...
There would be nothing funny about that.
Were you laughing?
I was laughing for the wrong reasons. I was laughing because if this happened in real life... Not only would she be fired immediately, like the cops would be called, people would go up there, she would be on that lift all night until she got arrested.
She would be losing that job if she dropped a sponge and it hit somebody on the ground. So instantaneously.
Nobody even goes in and tells on her?
No.
People are just like, ha, sponge from the sky. What a day.
If I looked up and saw a window cleaner up there and I got hit by a sponge, I'd be walking in there and that security guard at the front desk, which there is not a security guard at the front desk, which is the most insane thing ever. But we're going to explain that. So here come these weird guys in masks, like full dance troupe or full whatever. And they just walk in and get in the elevators. And you're like, what is happening?
Yeah, wouldn't it have been interesting if they had set up that they were waiting for the entertainment at the party before they got in the elevator instead of after?
Oh, did they not mention it before?
From what I remember, the order was the opposite. They get in the elevator and like, who the hell are these guys? And then we cut to the party and they're like, well, the dancers are late. I was like, what the hell's going on right now?
It's really weird. And I mean, you've probably been in big buildings like this. There is always a security desk and you always have to sign in.
You got to check in. You got to write your name, who you're visiting, the room. Like, come on, guys.
You don't just march in there and the security guard looks over and goes, well, there's the dancers. And it's come on through, everybody. Don't worry about the metal detectors. Let's go. It's supposed to be surprising to us. We're just like, well, what?
Yeah.
But it just makes us go, what is happening? How are the bad guys just walking in?
Yeah.
They go up there. It's time for there's two brothers, Gerald and then the other brother who's going to die pretty quick. He has to give a speech. Good evening. The bad guys just take over the control center with nothing. With nothing. They just walk through the doors. It's like the security center for this giant building, a location where you can type into a computer a $33 million transfer.
Right, yeah.
There's no, you don't got to buzz in. You don't got to do anything. There's not a camera. No. They just walk in
wouldn't worry about it.
Start shooting everybody.
Yeah. I mean, it's fine, right?
Yes.
You don't want to have to deal with too much guffaw before you take over a building.
Blonde American lady takes over the controls. We're in.
Who's she talking to when she talks on that microphone?
Clive.
Doesn't he already know?
No,
I don't know. It just seems a little weird. It's all good.
He's down at the party because they're mingling at the party, and then they gas. Okay, Tony, who do they gas?
Everybody.
What do you mean by everybody?
Everyone at the party,
and
there
are people that live in this building as apartments, and we see them at times with families. I actually
had a question about that because I was confused because also at one point the brother goes off and has sex in a bedroom, which I assume is someone's apartment.
I don't know.
Because why would you have a bedroom in your office? I was very confused on the layout of this building in general because she sees a family at one point in a window, right? So
there are apartments on others because this is a huge building.
It's big building. Yeah, big building. Lots of windows to clean.
So I guess there are apartments in these buildings. And so in addition to having gas canisters that they throw out at the party, they have delivered pots of gas canisters to all of the other people that live in this building because they go off in these other weird rooms.
Yeah. Seems like a lot of canisters, first of all.
What the fuck?
I don't know. I don't understand.
In Die Hard with the Nakatomi Plaza, they're building it, right? So nobody works there yet.
Also, it's the holiday party. So the only people in the building are the people at the party. And then guess who? The security guard downstairs.
One security guard.
That poor bastard. He never stood a chance. Oh.
So they gas everyone. The bro figures it out and hides in a closet and then puts towels in the way and he's unaffected. We set up that this gas will put everybody unconscious for exactly 4 hours.
I love that it works on a clock. That's nice. Some science is great. Don't you think, Dan?
It's pretty great. So they give air to 10 people, let's say, because these are the people that are the real hostages.
Right.
And then Clive Owen takes his thing off and he's all like, we're Earth's revolution.
Now, this is where I had a question.
Hit me with the question.
How fast does that gas go away?
Instantaneously if you give them air.
Oh, okay. See, I did again. Science, it's truly a wonder.
I'm assuming it's like a reagent or whatever. It's something that cancels the gas that you breathe. I don't think it's like air, actually.
It's not just like oxygen.
Yeah, it must be something that. I mean,
it attaches to it bonds to the molecules, and then they evaporate.
The thing about knocking people out with gas is there's people called anesthesiologists, and you know what they have to do? They have to be incredibly intelligent and incredibly careful and incredibly paying attention to fucking everything, because they can kill you instant. That's anesthesia is the most dangerous thing in the hospital.
That's why when I had my knee surgery, I stayed awake, and then they gave me an epidural, and it turns out that hurts way more than I thought it would. And if I do that again, I'm going to sleep. I don't care if I don't wake up again. That hurt a lot. Yeah, and they give you. There's different ones where they just put you just right, and then if you're just enough, if you're in a real surgery, they you're done. You're going down. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, so they can't find Gerald, who's the big boss. She's right outside, and she sees them take Gerald. She's the bad guy. So she now knows what's going on. The bad guys come, grab Gerald, drag him away. And
she's stuck outside still. And I don't know if we ever really talked about it, but she's stuck outside because the guy won't bring her back in.
No, well, he's dead.
Now he's dead, but at first he was like, I'm just going to let you sit there for a while. And then he gets murdered, so she's still out there.
So there she is up on, let's say the 40th floor. What's her big plan?
Does she have a big plan? She's just kind of sitting there for a while.
No, she does. She takes actions.
At one point she tries to break through a window. I remember that.
Nope, that's later.
No? What's her first plan?
Hey!
Oh, she yells down.
Hey! Then what would she do next, Tony?
Maybe throw a sponge off the thing and get the people's attention from below.
Would she pull out her cell phone?
You think she has a cell phone? Oh, boy. What is this, 2024?
That's what woke her up in the morning.
That's true. It's a good point.
That's how she talked to the boss.
Maybe she doesn't get service that high in the air.
I mean, you have to have her lock up the cell phone. Wait, you're telling me people in big buildings don't have cell phone service?
Yeah, isn't that a thing? The higher you get, the less service you have, right?
There it is. So she doesn't have a cell phone somehow now.
Yeah, that's a good point.
They never do anything with the cell phone, but now she doesn't have a cell phone, and nobody ever uses cell phones for anything until later.
Yeah.
Until she has earbuds in. How does she have the earbuds? Wait, how does she talk to the cop later? Does she find another? Does she take a cell phone from someone? Yeah, maybe from one of the bad guys.
Maybe from the guy that falls into the crate thing.
And then she tries to hotwire the lift.
Yeah, no, I remember that one.
Yeah. Then she stops. She pulls out the wires and then does a and nothing happens. Like what?
Listen,
what the hell are you doing?
I don't know.
Tony, hold on a second. Your car stops working. You go in the front of the car and you start pulling wires. Do you really think that car's ever going to start?
If I did it, no. But if somebody knew how to do it, maybe. I don't know. And then you have to twist them together. I remember that. I've seen it, and then you twist them together, and then you're fine.
You can't have a person do something like they know what they're doing when they don't know what the fuck they're doing.
Unless there's a funny line where she's like touching him, and she's like, okay, I have no idea what I'm doing. I got to stop. I'm going to die. Like something like that would be fun. But I don't know.
You have to go some direction with it.
Yeah.
Okay. Now she then she rappels down to the ball. So she leaves the thing, goes back onto her wire, and goes down.
Yeah.
Tony, couldn't she just go right back up?
Well, I think up is where she came from.
Yeah.
Correct me if I'm wrong.
Yes,
but so I think it would make sense.
You start at the top. Up. Why would you go down? What reason would you have to go down?
I have no idea. It seems like the wrong move. Other than maybe she just wanted to leave. So
wouldn't you leave by going up to where?
But if you go up, you have to go through the building, right? Like I don't want to go through the building, so maybe she's just trying to go.
Why would you not want to go through the building?
Because there's bad guys in the building.
So you think she was trying to go, but she doesn't have enough rope to go all the way down to the...
No, I imagine that it doesn't go all the way down to the ground floor. I don't know.
It's so weird. And so she goes down there so that she can watch what they're up to. And it turns out these guys are eco-terrorists and they want to save the world.
Now, I have a slight problem because
Yes.
I am on Clive Owen's side.
Yes, and the other guy too. I'm on both of their sides.
The other guy is a little
Crazier.
too cray-cray.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like Clive Owen, I'm like, yeah, cool. I'll join that movement. I agree with you, Kai.
We're gonna have now we're gonna have the big political discussion. We had
Yes, I love politics.
We had our guy Luigi goes, stalks out one of the heads of one of these healthcare companies and kills him dead. And then the whole of everything is like, this is the most dangerous man that's ever lived. We need to perp walk him with 1,000 soldiers because he's so dangerous. And a lot of us watched what he did, which is very wrong. But we're certainly not. We're not. Well, that guy is this innocent babe in the woods who,
I have a lot of, we could definitely get in trouble with this conversation. I have a lot of feelings on that because I also he's not that bad of a guy because listen, he's doing a job to please other people. You know what I mean? Like, he's not making the sole decisions. So it's a whole thing. Like, you just got to get rid of the whole system. Now, I don't know how to do that.
Yeah.
Let me be very clear. I have no idea how to do that, but let's try. You know what I mean?
There are a lot of wealthy people that work in a very amoral way to make as much money as they can with little consideration of what effect they are doing have. And if you're going to make a thing, if you have a bunch of piece of shit oil people that are fucking the world and fucking everyone, it's hard to feel sympathetic for any of them.
It's especially because they killed the one brother that seemed to be on the side of like, we got to make things right.
No, he was just...
You don't think so?
No, he was just the face. He was just... The other guy was scummier seeming, but the other brother just could stand up there and give a speech.
But it seemed like, and I could be wrong, I might be reading into this, it seemed like he didn't even know about some of the decisions the brother was making.
Well, then they have to tell us that.
Yeah, for sure. But I feel like there was a moment where someone mentioned something, and then the one brother was like, well, then we don't do that. That's not possible. And then the other brother's like, oh, yeah, we do that for sure. We definitely do that.
Yeah.
So I thought there was like, but then we kill him anyhow. So none of this really matters because he dies first anyhow. So,
and these are all, and we also set up a thing with the autistic brother about how he, at the care home, he hacked into their systems and was showing that they were ripping people off. To which I say, wait a second. He has power over the care home now.
Oh, yeah. And not only that, but he also is doing basically the same thing that Clive Owen's doing.
Yes.
If you really think about it, which is a weird message in the same movie where they make Daisy then kill all these people that basically did the same thing the brother did, only, way better. I don't know. It's confusing to me.
And we do have a little microsecond thing where she's all like, these people are different than what you did there. And then he's all like, okay, I will screw I'm going to make sure they all die or whatever. As opposed to, you could have had this moment where the brother is like, I agree with what they're doing. And you would have had to, if you're going to set up a thing where they're destroying the world, literally.
Yeah.
These are very big topics of conversation in your Blockbuster movie. And if you just like sweep them under the rug and say at the end of the movie, well, she's going to leak this information.
So that's what I was going to say.
These 10 people are going to get in trouble, and that's good enough. They got in trouble.
Yeah. Their way around dealing with moral consequences is like, she's going to do it anyhow. At the end, she's going to basically do the same thing anyhow, so it's fine.
And the one police officer is like, you don't have the thing? Okay.
Okay, wink, wink, nudge, nudge.
I would have loved to have seen something in the third act where, like, the people that are going to make sure that information doesn't come out show up, and Daisy Ridley has to do something about them.
Has to hide it from them.
Because they're just as bad as these, because they are just as bad.
I agree. Yeah, and it's all kind of like, I understand what we're saying is like, well, but murder is the worst. Like, I feel like that's the moral of the movie. Is like, yeah, you can do a lot of bad things, but murder is the worst. So we got to stop the murderers and find another way. So it's just morally, the movie is a little messy.
I would go with super messy, and at a certain point, I was just like, oh, I hope the terrorists survive and can pull off their plan to, actually do something, and that's not where you want to be with your movie.
No, not when you're doing an anti-terrorist movie. If you're doing a pro-terrorism movie, then maybe.
Are we getting to that point where you're like, well,
That's why, it's Die Hard is nice, right? Mm-hmm. Because you think that they're terrorists, and then it turns out they're just like, yeah, we just want money. And that's cool. Because one, we can all agree with, but also I'm like, well, you don't deserve the money, so you can die for doing this. That's fine. But you give these guys a cause, one that I think a lot of the world would agree with.
At least a percentage of people seeing this are going to be.
It gets very morally ambiguous.
Yes, you don't want to see people risking their lives to save oil executives. I'm sorry.
Yeah,
not this. Not it. They set them up as monstrous. That's the thing.
100%.
And
I don't agree that they should die.
But
I also don't agree that they shouldn't get in trouble. So, like, listen, if that guy doesn't kill Clive Owen, I'm rooting for the bad guys the whole movie, without a doubt.
And even after Clive Owen gets killed, my sympathies never moved onto those people surviving. No sympathy. If you don't have sympathy for the hostages, how are you you're never going to care about anything.
No, I hardly care about Daisy. I hardly care about the brother in this. Like, I'm having a hard time caring about anybody.
Yeah.
The reason why the movie works, right?
What movie?
For me, at least, is because Clive Owen, I'm on board with. I'm like, go Clive, let's do this thing. This guy, whose name, what was his name? Taz? Taz kills Clive Owen. And I'm like, oh, good. I hate you by default because I think you suck.
Oh, you see.
You know what I mean? So it works out.
You got on board because Taz ruined the movie.
Taz ruins the movie, and I'm like, we need to kill this guy. We need to get him out of the movie right now because he is messing this all up.
Okay. So we find out that they had somebody do something, and then she was going to go to trial, and then the oil company had her killed, and so nothing came out of that.
And now here's my problem.
Yeah.
Right? They killed an activist.
Yep.
And now the activists are killing them.
Yep.
And any shred of me being like, well, murder's wrong, goes out the window. They did it first. This is a John Wick situation. You know what I mean? Like, good, kill them all. So you messed up big time. There's
no heroes.
Oh, well, Daisy. She's a hero when she, does almost nothing for 90% of the movie.
And then they kill the one dude. The Taz kills the one dude with a wine bottle for unknowable reasons.
Also, I didn't realize he was killing him. Is that weird? Until he was already dead. I was like, well, he's just got a wine bottle in his mouth.
It's just
he's fine.
It was weird.
It was super weird.
Yeah.
Also, Clive doesn't really stop it.
No.
He says something like, "Hey, don't do it.
Hey, stop. Please don't."
But he doesn't do anything. So it's the whole thing's weird.
What is the movie where the person is like, "Stop. Don't go."
Stop.
Oh, stop. It's in Willy Wonka. In the Willy Wonka, the 70s one. The people are doing things they shouldn't be doing, and he's like, I'll just stand there like, stop. As the people put themselves in jeopardy. He's just like, hey, you want to put yourself in jeopardy? Whatever, bro.
Do your thing, my friend.
You do you. So then she goes back and does the one interesting thing. She smears some random stuff that she has on the windows and writes the word SOS. So we're like, oh, okay, that works. So we find out the bad guys now have bombs, and then they're like, "Go find this cleaner."
Now, I wish that was more of a thing.
That they were trying to stop her?
Not only stop her, but calling her cleaner. Like, if that was the only way that they knew her, and they were like, man, this cleaner's a problem. Get the cleaner. Find the cleaner. Like, if there was more of that, I'd be like, okay, yeah, movie's called Cleaner. But it only gets mentioned once or twice, and then the bad guy knows her on a personal level. So I wanted there to just be like, who the hell is this cleaner? You know what I mean? Like, he knows her whole history. So, oh, yeah, she's former Army. She got kicked out. I know everything about her. I want there to be like a mystery where these trained badasses are like, what the hell is going on? This lady cleaner is kicking our ass. What's going on? Find out who she is. Who is the cleaner? Yeah, I don't know. Something like that.
You mean because it's almost like one of the good things that happens in Die Hard, which there's like 27. Sure. Like at one point, he like has to deal with this one guy, and he thinks he's one of the guys that works there, but he turns out to be one of the bad guys, and he also has to keep his name out of it because he's got what's her name, and they might put together there's just
wife's inside,
just all these little gems that add to the jeopardy. In this one, we're like, do they even ever capture the brother? Do they even have him in their hands?
They don't capture him, but the bad guy knows that the brother's there somewhere. You know, like, okay.
We never used that brother as a fulcrum. Never once. Like, why? Nope. Why is he there? He's whatever. Sets the fire. The bad guys have bombs. They're trying to elevate her up. She jams one of the things. Gerald bites Clive, and then he gets shot out the window. So, oh no, they shoot out a window. I think. Oh, they shoot out a window, and I was like, well, now we have an opening, but we never use that broken window.
Nope, don't worry about it. That one's too far away, Dan.
Yeah, too far away. Then, right when we're not expecting it, Noah Taz shoots Clive Owen's character and takes control of the whole thing.
Yep.
So Clive was going to do the exact same thing that he was going to do, but then he wasn't going to blow up the building. He was just going to let all these people
murder.
He was going to let everyone get captured.
Clive was anti-murder.
Got it.
Because he's an activist. Like, he's an activist, but he's not a murderer.
Got it.
And this guy's like, the only way to get the job done is to murder. Now, my counterpoint to that is, again, Clive Owen watched you choke a guy with a wine bottle and did nothing. So I think that Clive's one of those guys that's like, well, I'm not going to do it, but like, if you do it, it happens.
Yeah.
So I feel like we could have gotten the plan done either way.
So basically, we find this point, we got to do a whole thing where half the team kills the other half of the team because one half of the team doesn't want to kill.
Yep.
And at a certain point, way at the end of the movie, the blonde girl in charge of the control center realizes
to make a decision
that they're all going to die, and so she doesn't want to die and runs away. What did she think was going to happen? There is no... I guess he said buses, didn't he?
Yeah, so, I mean, listen, it doesn't make any sense. It's messy, obviously. But so the way to do this better, right, if anyone's writing a movie, they need to have separate motives and separate goals. It can't be the exact same plan, no matter who's in charge, because then it doesn't make any fucking sense. Like, he's like, hey, we're doing this. We're going to get these people to say, hey, we did this thing. And this guy's like, that's not the real plan. Boom, you're dead. The real plan is $1 billion. And we're going to murder everybody and get rich and fly to Costa Rica. I don't know. It has to be very different plans for this to make any sense whatsoever. And like, half the team kills the other half of the team just because they're like, well, your friend's dead, so I guess you're dead too. It doesn't make any sense.
Doesn't make any sense. And there's no conflict. There's not like one person that goes along with it and then, or this blonde woman sort of does.
The blonde lady sort of.
But she also sort of doesn't. Really.
Yeah, it's all done very poorly.
And that's the thing in Die Hard, when you have that switch, everyone in the audience goes, oh, yeah, these guys aren't idiots. But everything we watch the terrorists do, we're like, these guys are idiots.
He's the dumbest people in the world.
Yeah, so you don't care. It's like, okay,
Yeah.
they're all dead. That's fine.
Yeah, I don't care about them.
Evil oil
It's all
executives, if they all get killed, fine, whatever. I don't really care.
Yeah, like, there's really no one in that building that I'm like, boy, I hope they don't die by the end of this movie, except for maybe the maid,
and
who comes back for like 2 seconds.
Yeah, 2 seconds. No one kills Marcus. People are the problem. They throw Marcus's body out. I guess they throw it out the broken window.
Yeah, out the broken window and then just right onto her lift, which is pretty weird.
And he has a gun, so now she has a gun. And then Noah shows up at the window, and he knows everything about Daisy Ridley's character. And they're having a conversation like they've known each other forever. And I'm like, how does he have all this information? Well, he's the other window washer that she interacted with before. I did not. I was so confused.
This is when you realized it?
This is when I realized it. I was so confused.
I love that.
Because he doesn't.
That's actually really good.
The dude doesn't look like anything.
Well, they had him in like a hat and like the gear earlier. So when he's not in any of that, he does look quite different. Yeah, that's funny.
And why is he going into work the same night? It's like you have a guy that works at this building.
I don't know that.
And he comes into work. I mean, he needed to have done something. Right?
Or all of the people that are there are the window cleaners. And it's like the window cleaners are the reason why it are the inside men who let everybody in. And they're like, we all joined just to kill you all.
Yeah.
That's a fun movie. And then you could call the movie Cleaners. And then really it's about the other cleaners taking over the building and then the one saving the day. That's a fun, dynamic.
She has a gun on him.
So I had questions about this.
He sort of has a gun on the maid on the floor. But not really, not very much. And she's like a fucking super secret agent. She could have just blasted him, right?
Unless the glass is bulletproof?
Well, they shoot through it later. And
yeah, you're right.
I don't know.
I don't know. I thought it was weird too. There's a 5 to 6 minute conversation where it's just like, just shoot him. You're 5 feet away, just shoot him. And then she shoots at the street later and she can shoot, 1,000 yards away, pinpoint accuracy. Just shoot him. Shoot him in the window.
We're going to talk about that in 1 second.
Sorry.
So whatever. So they sort of like, I know your brother's here. I'm going to hurt your brother. The brother's actually right behind him when he's doing this.
Just, literally within eye shot. Yeah.
Yeah. And then he finally leaves and we're like, okay, I don't know.
Now, here's something that bothers me in movies.
Yeah.
I'm gonna be Dan Goodsell for a minute and tell you one of my pet peeves. My pet peeve
all movies
is when you and I are having a conversation and we're looking at each other in the eyes, and then somebody else is in the background that I don't. Hey, baby, I don't want you to know is there.
She looks over,
and then you show me always looking over to them. And the person never looks over the shoulder. If I'm looking at you in your eyes and you keep looking to the left of me, I'm going to turn. I don't care. I'll be like, what is over there? I'm talking to you, guy. Yeah, that's my biggest pet peeve.
I've seen it in movies where it's a tell and they react on it. And you have to have them react on it.
Sure. You have to.
If you're dumb enough to look over, you have to have them. Because you're being dumb.
Because you're going to notice. Yeah. They're going to notice.
Yeah.
They're looking at you directly in the eye, threatening your life.
And that should have been the setup, is forget this stupid maid who doesn't add any.
Yeah, nobody cares about this poor maid.
She doesn't even get up and get away, does she?
I think she just naps the rest of the movie. I don't think she ever leaves. I think she's so scared. She's like, I'm just going to go to bed now.
She's been gassed. She hasn't been ungassed, so I guess she's just going to lay there forever.
You think she's just passed out?
Just laying there. Yeah, he has to be talking to her, and she's like, he's got to say, this is what he has to say. You could try and shoot me through the glass. It's probably going to take 5 shots and I'm going to be gone. And then she's all like, yeah. And then he sees her do that and is like, whoosh, he switches, grabs the brother. And then he's got the brother like this, like,
and then you're in trouble.
Oh, now you're in trouble, girlfriend. Yeah. And then he can exert that control in some other way to,
any actual control over the scene. Yeah.
Because he never has any control really over her ever.
No.
And you gotta give him that. That's jeopardy. That means she's afraid and her actions truly mean something, as opposed to most of her actions are like, well, I can just do them whenever I want.
Well, to be fair, she spends the majority of the movie outside, not doing anything. So, I'm not sure it matters anyhow.
That is very true. Okay, so what he does, so she has a gun, and he's like, I'm going to shoot the maid, and he's all like, what you're going to do is we're going to call it in that there's a crazy person shooting down at the street, and that's what the SOS was about, but you're going to shoot down into the street. Talk about her shooting down into the street, Tony.
She is the greatest shot with a pistol of all time. I guess, is it called a handgun? I don't know.
Handgun, pistol, same thing.
Okay, so she's what do we think? 30 floors up, 25 to 30 floors
30.
up.
Let's put it at 30. It's at least 30.
She is shooting at people like they do in the westerns, where it's at like right at their feet to make them dance, but you never want them to be like, "Oh, I'm going to shoot you." She is so good with this shot that people don't even panic that much. They're just like, "Oh, wait, what's going on up there? They're shooting at us, but not really. We're all safe." It's the dumbest thing I've ever seen in my life.
The first shot, she shoots a coffee out of a guy's hands.
Out of his hand. First of all, here's a coffee cup, right? This is a giant water bottle that I'm holding. My hand is half of this, and a coffee cup is a third of this. So his hand is almost the entire cup. To not hit his hand and just hit cup is unreal.
And she shoots like 5 shots. I was laughing through all of this. It was fucking hilarious. Every one of the shots is within inches of a person, as opposed to her looking down there and shooting into the street.
Yeah, into a big open area so no one will get hurt for sure. No, she's like within a foot of everybody each time. And she fires them in fast succession. It's not like she's doing that thing where you like judge the wind and you're kind of aiming carefully. She's like pop, 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 pop. And she has it perfectly all over the street. It is wild stuff.
Or shooting twice and then waiting for people to disperse, then shooting the rest.
Sure, yeah. Once people, because they're running and the panic, she's like, I'm not even worried. I don't even think there's a chance I'm going to hit somebody. I'm so good at this.
Oh, it was so funny. And then a helicopter shows up and they're like, put your hands in the air.
Like you just don't care.
And they have a big, initially they didn't have a big rifle on her. Later they pull out the big rifle and point it at her. It was so weird.
Which is an interesting order of events, right? They show up and they're not going to kill her, and they're just like, "Hey, what are you doing, lady? Stop shooting!" And then she's like, "Oh, sorry, I'm not a bad guy." And they're like, "What was that gun?" Doesn't make any sense.
Okay, now Claire shows up. Who's
Claire?
Claire is the lady cop. The
she's
boss
the
lady
cop.
cop. Okay. This gets so bad. Okay, the bad guy. Okay. Jazz, whatever his name is, he calls up to the control center and he's like, okay, transfer $33 million into Joey's account, into the cleaner's account, so that they'll think that she's the problem.
Which, listen, is in a vacuum is a fine plan, right? Like make it seem like she's stealing money. I don't really know, but she's on the outside of the building. Like in what world is someone paying her $33 million to stand outside the building and shoot down?
More importantly, you can just somehow you have access to all of their accounts and all of their money.
All of the money.
First of all,
they have all the money in the world.
First of all,
now.
Drain that money into the world. UNICEF, Habitat for Humanity. Let's start spreading that money around. Somebody should be doing that full time, right?
It's all for Joe.
That is what I would be doing.
Joey's money.
I would be spreading that money across the planet, everything into Switzerland.
Sure.
Even if you're not stealing it for yourself, like have these people. But again,
yeah.
But it said the only thing they use the money for is to try and frame her up.
Yeah, super weird.
How do they have her account number?
Well, they're best friends, Dan. Okay, I know your bank account number. You don't know my bank account number?
You know what you should have said? Venmo her $33 million.
Venmo
in the line terrorism.
Terrorism. And then have her receive it on her cell phone and just be like, "Oh no, I'm in trouble now."
Uh-oh. Okay, now we finally find out that she's ex-Army. Just right now.
Does it really take that long? Oh boy.
Okay, so
Do we know why she gets kicked out? Does it say?
yeah, we do that.
Do you remember?
Yeah, I remember.
Oh, is it coming up later?
Yeah.
Oh no! Don't spoil it. If you got a plan,
I'll tell you what happens. So she's there. Claire's talking to her. Somehow she's got earpieces in to do all this talking.
Yeah.
Too, somehow.
What are they? AirPods?
I guess her cleaner boss was talking to her that way. Now somehow she can switch between 12 different calls instantaneously, never with pushing a button. It's amazing.
Apple.
It's Apple.
So good.
That's how Apple works. So there's the big boss police lady. She has this terrible SWAT guy who she has bad blood with, and it's just like, oh god, so bad. They go and look at the body. They figure out who Clive Owens is within like 20 seconds. Seconds.
Yeah. It's wild.
They drop the lift. She almost falls. And then she's all like, I don't care. Save my brother. And then she wants to get in. And the cops know everything about the bad guy. Then the news knows everything about the bad guy. And the media knows everything. So media knows everything. They know everybody's names, everything that's happening. Everyone has bombs. And then we set up that Noah has a thing that if his pulse stops for 5 seconds,
the dead man switch.
Then it'll blow.
And then you have that wonderful moment where he takes it off for just enough time and then puts it on. Let me tell you something about pulses. It takes a second for the machine to find it again.
Oh, does it?
So if he took it off and it turned red, I think you're dead. I think it takes too long for it to re-find the pulse for it to matter. I think you're all dead.
You're not buying that technology isn't solid?
Works instantaneous. I have a watch that is supposed to do that thing, and it has never found my resting heart rate. Maybe I'm dead. It could be me. I don't know.
He says, no one in here is innocent. You think I'm the bad guy. So they send some SWAT guys in there, and then he's watching them through the computer, and then he's all like, you shouldn't have said SWAT guys. They have 5 seconds to get out. And then as they're running away, he blows up a bomb and kills them all.
Which is almost identical to Die Hard, only a million times worse.
What do you mean? It's stupider in this one?
You remember this where they send the guys in at the door and then they shoot them?
Those are good scenes.
Those are great scenes. And they bring in the RV or the tank, and the guy's like, it looks like the police have themselves an RV. It's all great.
Jokes.
And this is all shit. And it's weird that just like, I remember that one scene in Die Hard that was really cool. Let's do that, but without caring at all.
They bring in that armored vehicle, and then one of the dudes runs over. The bad guys are always doing things proactive. They're running.
Yes.
They're like, don't they use like a big rivet gun to mount the thing, and then they lean it out there. They shoot the rocket, blow up the thing.
And it's great. And it's all great.
These are, they're smarter. The bad guys are smarter than the good guys.
Yeah, they're smart. Yeah, they're doing their jobs.
Because they know what the fuck they're doing. The cops are doing their best, but the bad guys
Everyone is doing like their jobs pretty well. Everyone's pretty competent in that movie, and that's the problem. Is you got a bunch of people that can do this shit, and that's hard.
And that's when you fucking care. Joey's talking to Noah. And Noah's trying to do something. There are some really amazingly funnily stupid things in this movie.
We're talking.
So Noah lowers on a rope one of the bombs.
Right. Yes.
What does the bomb do, Tony?
Well, just
beep, 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 beep. I guess I gotta get away. Gotta get away, I guess.
Right. Listen, the faster those beep, the worse it is. That's what I know about those. And then it just kind of blows up on the side of the building, right? And they just assume she's dead?
She went around a corner.
Right.
The Claire woman says, it's been confirmed. The cleaner is dead.
Oh, I didn't even notice that part.
And you know what Noah immediately says? I don't think so.
Well, to be fair, I think that people would be a little more upset than that, than just like, it's confirmed. Yeah, she's dead. Shoot.
The explosives, the dumb bro. He's in a room, and behind him, he has all these things, these containers that I thought said thick bleach on them. And I'm like, well, that's going to come in to play.
It doesn't. Do you think they're different than thin
I
bleach?
thought it said thick bleach. I never went back to check.
I have no idea.
She's having struggle climbing. She's all like, how about you help me out and blow out one of these windows? And so what do they do to help her out by blowing out one of the windows, Tony?
Do they blow it out?
They shoot 5 holes in it.
Oh, right. And then she has to like hammer it.
For like an hour. For an hour, she has to hammer it.
Yeah, for a while. Well,
Tony,
you know,
do they only have 5 bullets?
maybe because, they didn't come prepared. They're not good at their jobs.
Couldn't they have shot like 50 bullets?
Well, sure, but I mean, that's government money. You see, you're wasting the government dollars, the taxpayers' money. Okay, they don't want to use any bullets they don't have to.
Oh, sorry. I take it back. The reason why they only shot 5 shots is so we could have the scene where she talks to Claire and explains to her what happened in the military.
Well, yeah, she needs some time. You're right. She needs some time and catharsis to hammer that window and get her anger out.
She was in the army, and then there was a guy who was bad and bugged her, and so then she left the army because he harassed her, I guess?
So she didn't get kicked out of the army?
No, she quit because he was...
Because they say that... Don't they say multiple times she gets kicked out of the army?
I don't know.
Okay, well, whatever.
We do an Ichneumon wasp thing. Do you want to talk about the Ichneumon wasp thing, Tony?
I don't know what you're saying, so I'm not qualified to speak on the ignamus wasps. What is it?
Ichneumon, I believe.
Ichneumon.
Basically, we set up that there's a wasp out there in nature that what it does is it stings another wasp and lays its eggs inside them, and then the eggs hatch out of the other wasp. And that's what he's doing when he killed Clive Owen.
What? So he's the wasp that stings and then more wasps come out?
Yeah.
I don't think I understand the metaphor.
Okay.
Did more people join the cause?
Nope.
I don't even understand.
He's taken over,
I mean, I understand that he's a wasp that killed another wasp or something.
Then I guess maybe he lives. Maybe that one, the wasp, then lives in the old wasp's house or something, and drinks all its wine.
House.
Oh God, we're not done with this movie.
And she's not even inside the building yet. She's just getting.
She gets inside the building. There's the bad guys.
This movie's dumb.
And she's got the bro's right when she goes into the building. The bro is like right there instantaneously. Right. Dog down. She like hurt her foot a little, so she kind of limped.
Oh yeah, you don't want to hurt her.
She's a pain in the ass. She put like the dog ramp right at the end of the couch. She'll walk around it and then jump on the couch. She can just walk right up the ramp. Just walk up the goddamn ramp.
No, thank you.
I jump on the couch. Thank you.
I do what I want.
So she's with the brother. They're like going somewhere, and they start walking up the stairwell, and then he's all like, "Okay, we need some small talk time in the middle of this stairway," and we got he does a Piers Morgan thing. He also does all this Thanos stuff because he's carrying around Thor's hammer.
Yeah, he's like obsessed with Piers Morgan. I didn't understand that thread. Maybe it's because I'm not English.
Piers Morgan's just a guy that has a talk show. Nothing special about him.
But I thought don't we not like Piers Morgan? Isn't that what was happening?
He's kind of a Trumper. He's sort of
okay.
But I don't know if he's as big of a Trumper at this point. But for a while he was. I think he was on The Apprentice, and I think. I think Celebrity Apprentice, and I think he's kind of like a Donald Trump. Whatever.
Because we get the what would Piers Morgan do, and I was like, I don't know.
I know who Piers Morgan is, and that is not Piers Morgan is not a guy that you would ask that question of.
Yeah.
He doesn't. Yeah. He's not a guy that has like a big moral code or does things a certain way. It's just he's just a guy, semi-news talk show guy. Who cares? Right, he's nobody.
Okay. I guess that, maybe it's okay that I didn't get it then.
Noah freaks out for unknowable reasons. Okay. We're going to have the big discussion now, Tony.
Oh, what have we been doing so far?
So they've taped all these confessions, right?
Right. Yeah.
What do they do? What's the big plan?
I don't even know if I know. They're releasing them on social media, right?
Yeah. And to do that,
That's all I got.
What do they have to do to those files? They have to encrypt them for 15 minutes. Tony, why would you have to encrypt files that you want everyone in the world to see?
Maybe it's a timed release, so they want all of them to release at the same time. Do you think that's what it is?
I don't fucking know. It doesn't make any sense. This whole movie could be eliminated if they were just Facebook Living, right?
You know what? No, I got it, Dan. I actually figured it out. Okay, so there's this thing called the algorithm on social media. Okay?
Oh, they're trying to game the algorithm. So
they're trying to game it. So what they're doing is they're releasing the data, right, of the video, but not the video itself. So the algorithm's picking up all the data. It's like, oh, I'm going to send it to all of these people, and then when the video hits, boom, it's in your feed. That's obviously what's happening. It's the algorithm.
It's just like you're like, I could have my phone and do what they're doing, and everybody
just by yourself.
They're like, we should delay this as long as possible.
I don't know. It's a bad plan. I think we all can agree.
It's like
not a great
they've
plan.
done all this work so that they can put it on a disc that can be stolen.
Yeah, I mean that's pretty dumb, right? Always have a backup is the answer.
Always upload it to the cloud, send email it to yourself.
Good.
Like,
yeah.
But you have to encrypt it so that they don't find it. Like, this is something you want everyone to find.
Immediately, yeah, we want it to happen. Like, it's weird because in movies of yore, as in yesteryear, they would just record the video and then send it off to the news, or they would they would hijack the news networks and do it live.
Yep.
But now we have tools specifically designed to go live anywhere at any time, and they're like, we're not going to do that. Okay, that's not for us.
And it is just pathological. It just flies in the face of everything we all know. We all know that. We all literally could just pick up our phone and go live to an amount of people. And
maybe not an amount of people. Some of us get 0 views, Dan. It's fine. No judgments on us. Okay?
So they go and hide in a boiler room, and then the bad guys go to the boiler, and we're like, where are we going to do all of our action scenes? In this one fucking boiler room set that looks like shit.
Yeah, it's cheap.
Talk to me about the lighting of the boiler room set.
What lighting? I feel like there's 3 fluorescents that light the whole thing, and that's it. They were just like, yeah, well, let's just use natural lighting because there's no outlets on the wall, so we can't power any lights. We'll just use the fluorescent lighting. It looks like shit.
Super flat, right?
yeah,
it's
terrible.
Just terrible. She attacks a guy with a wrench, then kills him with a gun. Saves the bro. Yeah. This lady has her dead to rights, but somehow she's able to pull her gun around and shoot a steam pipe as opposed to just around and shoots the lady.
Yeah.
Steam pipes the lady. And then they kung fu fight. And then the lady gets a drop on her again. But then I think she's out of bullets or something. She sort of clicks it through.
Yeah, I mean something. Yeah, something cliche.
The brother somehow throws a grenade down. It's my favorite scene in the movie.
Okay.
Joey, what's her name, is able to hide, but the blonde woman takes the fullest impact from a grenade ever. It shoots her across the room and then out one of the windows, and she flies. It's the funniest thing I've ever seen. I love that scene so much. Tony, you should go edit this scene into our show.
Okay, all right. I'll put the thing in there. Don't worry.
So fun. And edit in when she shoots the coffee cup. That guy with the coffee. Ah!
Oh God, yeah. No, I'll do the whole shooting scene so people can understand how wild that was.
Oh, but
because I'm not recommending people go watch this movie. Spoiler alert for the end.
Now, did you laugh when she flew out the window?
Oh, God, I laughed a bunch in this movie to be just said the wrong things. And this was great. She cartwheels right out that way. She's dead. She gone.
She's super dead from this little grenade. Tony, would you know how to make a new grenade work?
Don't you hold it down and pull the pin and then you throw it?
Is that how they still work? I don't know.
Oh, I don't know. Have we had upgrades to grenade technology? Maybe. I have
we
no
should
idea.
Look that up, how a grenade works now.
I know how to stop a grenade. Captain America taught me that. You just jump on it.
I don't think that stops
Don't do that. Don't do it.
Maybe if you're made out of Captain America flesh, you might be able to survive a
Which
grenade.
obviously I am.
That's true.
As you can tell from my physique.
Okay. Oh, here we go. Okay, now we set up the 15 minutes to encrypt it, and then we can share it. And then, so the blonde woman in the control center is then like cutting on a little intro he has. And the intro is, this is all going to be worth it. Oh, wait, no. Wait, is this where she says it?
Oh, boy.
Yeah. Basically, she sees the video that he's going to put on there, and the video is like, I'll be dead when you're seeing this. And she's all like, wait a second. We're not going to all die. And then so she runs away and then gets shot.
What do you mean?
Shots instantly by the one other person that's still alive there. Oh, it was so terrible.
Well, you think that you're going to live, and then they tell you you're not. It's hard. It's tough stuff.
And so then Daisy and the brother get in there, and this is when we have the little tiny bit of conflict where the brother realizes that what they're doing is actually a good thing.
Yeah.
To which case he should have just sat down and sent that. You know what they should have done? Oh man.
No, talk to me.
Oh, this would have been so good. This would have fixed the stupid movie. She should have said, blah, 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 whatever. And then he's like, okay. And then she takes the disc, right, at a certain point. But he has a couple of seconds. He has a minute or something there. Something happens and she has to do with it. She comes back. He hands her the disc because he's going to chase the bad guy's going to chase her with the disc.
Right.
They do the whole chase. And at the end, she goes down there and the cop is there and she's like, give me the disc. And she's all like, and we find out that Claire is a piece of shit too. She's all like, they're going to, and there's like these guys standing there and they're like, they'll just kill you.
Yeah, we got to cover this shit up.
She like reluctantly hands him the disc.
But he had made a copy.
Or whatever. He's all
something.
like, oh yeah, I put it on the cloud. What, am I an idiot?
Yeah.
And you were like, and that would have given the brother actually, because he didn't do anything, did he?
No, Daisy barely does anything. To be fair, she has like 3 fights in the movie. It's very lackluster. So neither of them do very much. No.
But, that would have been a good twist at the end.
Sure, yeah, that would have been a nice ending. Yeah.
But they did not do that.
No, of course
then
not.
Noah and Joey go there and he's sitting there and then she like tries to move on him and he set a trap with this thing, whips around and hits her.
Yeah, I don't know.
Then
when did he have time to do that?
Then they fight and then it turns
for like a minute.
It was a very short, very uninteresting fight.
It was very anticlimactic, as they say.
And she wins, of course.
Yeah, pretty easily.
And she has, during the course of this fight, taken a thing off of his wrist and put it onto her wrist.
Yeah. He didn't even know.
Didn't even feel it.
Yeah. Luckily, we set her up in the beginning of the movie as a pickpocket. Oh, wait. No, she's a climber. I forgot. I have no idea.
It's almost like you should have set that up at the beginning.
It would have, do something. Maybe she goes and steals something from the dad's pocket, sneaks down, steals his money clip, sneaks out of the window, climbs down, goes and buys herself a pack of cigarettes, and just sits back and relaxes. That's the beginning of the movie. I'm 8 years old.
So then she like defeats him, and then he's holding onto the rope, and then he's like, I'll still get what I want because when I die, blah, blah, blah. And then she's all like, here's the thing. Fling!
Bam!
They shot it terribly, right? Yeah. You could barely tell she's flipping him the finger, right?
Yeah, well, they're at a low... I think it's because they're at a low angle to signify where he is at.
His viewpoint,
So,
yeah.
when it's all you see is like a little finger sticking up like that, and it's like, what's happening?
And it's at a weird,
not as impactful,
and it's at a weird angle, so it's kind of like you're like what's happening? She should.
I mean, that's a simple.
Should have gone hard, given the whole. Fuck you, dude.
That's like one of those things where you're shooting and you're just very quickly gonna be like, oh wait, let's reset and have you flick off towards the camera, please, Stacey.
Let's get this.
Aim it towards the camera.
Let's get a little bit of coverage on this because it looked like shit.
Yeah, I don't know.
Oh my god! And then she kicks him to. Doesn't she just then kick him to his death? Yeah. She kicks him to his death.
Kerpow! Yeah, it's great. Easy peasy.
Everyone files out. She meets meets Claire, and Claire's like, hand it over, and she's all like, what, the disc? I never had any disc. And then she's like, and you got to give the $33 million back too. And that would have been the other thing. Is what's his name at the? He's like. Then they go. Then we do the news.
Because who's 33 million is it? It's the corporation.
The corporation's
right?
33 million. Yeah.
So that would have been a nice moment to like send that out to everybody.
What we should have done, we should have got to the end with the brother. Right? He's like, oh yeah, I got it all. They're all getting in trouble, and she's all like, what? Because they meet like on the seaside for an unknowable reason, right?
Yeah.
And then he should have said, oh yeah, and there was all this money in this account. She's all like, yeah. He's all like, yeah, I only took $1 million for us, but I also took $1 million for this and $1 million for this, and he should have just been listing off 1,000 things as we fade out, and we're just like, we have because then you've taken their ill-gotten gains, right?
Yeah,
no one's going to take
100%.
that money from them.
Nope, they're still fine. Like the rest of the corporation, they lost their CEOs, but they're fine. Yeah. They're just going to bring a new board member up and keep doing what they do.
Make the brother work. Make him the hero. He's the problem.
He's the social justice hero of the movie. I love it.
And you know how long you and I have been thinking about this stupid movie?
Well, like 2 weeks for me, Dan, because you were sick last week.
Well, I didn't really think about the movie after I watched it. And the only time I've thought about it is in this hour and 31 minutes. And we've already rewritten many of the plot points of this movie to make them actually entertaining and satisfying.
I just want to be clear, because if people think that I spend a lot of time thinking about this movie in 2 weeks, I didn't. That was a joke. I didn't spend 1 second thinking about this movie once I pushed stop. Okay? Terrible.
Anything else you want to say about the acting or anything like that?
I mean, I didn't talk too much about Taz, but I just want to reiterate, I thought he was really bad. I didn't find him believable or interesting. I didn't like him. So just want to get that across.
What about Daisy Ridley?
I think she's fun. Yeah, I like her. I think, in a better vehicle, she'd be great. I mean, I love her as Ray, obviously. I haven't seen her in much else.
Oh, you didn't watch?
That might be on me,
You didn't watch Black Doves?
I don't even know what that is, because when you said it, I immediately thought Black Swan, and she's not in that.
Black Doves I think it's a Netflix.
Okay. Well, we canceled our Netflix thing.
5 to 7 episodes. It's
a little show.
With this other guy. She's like a spy. 10 out of 10. It's one of those things that they put out there and everybody was like, I don't buy this. And then it came out. I think it was her. Oh, maybe it was Keira Knightley. Was it Keira Knightley?
I also love Keira Knightley.
No, go look it up. Look up Black Doves real quick.
All right.
Ben.
But wait, isn't Keira Knightley in Black Swan? Who's in Black Swan?
No, that's Natalie Portman.
You're right about that. All right, Black Doves, Keira Knightley.
Oh, it's Keira Knightley. Oops.
Yeah. Oops.
Sorry,
Confused
Daisy.
You Brits.
The two of them look a lot alike.
And sound a lot alike.
Yeah, they do. They really do. They do sound a lot alike. Same posh level. And it's Ben Whishaw. Black Doves was great.
Yep.
Black Doves was 10 out of 10.
All right, well,
and it was one of those things that you were like, oh man, we'll see about this. And then you watch the whole thing and it's great. And then the consensus is great. And they renewed it for a second season almost instantaneously, but only after it was on. So you were like, that's what's really nice, because everybody enjoyed it.
Yeah, they're like, oh, everybody likes it. Let's do it again. Come on now. Gotta love that.
Yeah. So that's good. Now we talk about things we like. We've been off for a week, so I only have 6 or 7 things.
I know. I had a list. I've had to whittle it down to 2 things, but you go first.
I watched this one Netflix thing called Life List, which is about like this girl. Her mom passes away, and her mom is like has her like things she has to do since she was 15. You know, like when she was 15, she wrote out, "These are all the things I want to do."
Okay.
And so the mom is all like, "You got to do these things," and it was good.
It's a lot of pressure.
It was just a sweet, normal movie, and you're like, this is what we need more of these movies you can just watch and not have any stakes in. You're just like, oh, this is a movie. I finally watched Wicked.
Did you like it?
I liked it. I didn't love it.
You liked it?
I don't like the songs. The songs are not. It's not music I like.
What? Any of the songs? You don't like Gravity? You don't like Popular? It's okay, Dan. It's fine.
They're good. I'm not saying I dislike them. They're not the things I like, and
they're not what you want. Now let me ask you, how did you feel about Jonathan Bailey in Wicked?
Who's that?
He's the prince.
The dude?
Yeah, the dude.
I surprisingly liked him a lot more than I thought.
He's so fucking charming.
Oh, you're in love with him.
Oh my god. I'm deeply in love with him.
Yeah.
He's great.
Ariana is brilliant. She's so good.
Here's the thing. Good. I was really unsure about her going into the movie just because I don't listen to the music and she seems kind of weird. She knocked this out of the park. She was so good in this movie.
She plays at times unsympathetic character, but at times sympathetic character.
And to play that line is just so hard.
Dances it so hard, but then it's also funny. That's also completely self-absorbed, and you can just feel her character arc, and it's just beautiful.
No, it's great,
and she is vocally a genius, and I think she's comedically a genius also. And then Cynthia.
I'm on it. Yeah, I'm just agreeing with you just based on this movie. I was like, I will buy into everything you just said.
Yeah, and Cynthia's absolutely amazing. And I think they really, with all the different ages of people, I thought, it felt, because you're part of you is thinking, oh, well, these people that should be playing these should be 19 years old, but no, they're not.
Yeah, I'm interested to see how they're not calling it part 2, but whatever part 2 is called this year, because the 2 songs that I named, Popular and Gravity, are like the 2 big songs.
Yeah, do they have a lot more songs to put in the other one?
Not really. So there's songs, but there's no like hits in the second one. And I heard that they're
trying to write
doing some original songs, and I don't know, man. I'm a little nervous. I loved Wicked, and I'm very excited to see it. But I hope it does as well. I hope people liked it enough to give it the second half a shot.
Yeah, so I think I fell asleep a little during part of it. Some of the wizard stuff, which was like whatever.
Some of the Jeff Goldblum stuff.
I'll go back and rewatch.
Oh man.
Black Mirror comes back. I have started one of those. There's a really good documentary on Hulu called "The World According to Allie Willis" about Allie Willis, who was a super interesting songwriter who wrote lots of big pop songs, and she also co-wrote the Color Purple musical. And we know people, she passed away, but we know people that know her. And so it's super interesting watch.
Oh, wow. Okay. Very cool.
And I was rewatching the movie Sing, and you just watch movies that are well made. And like they're introducing all the characters, and they're introducing Rosita the pig, played by, what's her name? Legally Blonde. And she's like taking care of all the other little pigs. And at one point she's like walking and she kicks something, and you're like out of the way, and you're like, oh, she can dance.
Sure.
And you're like, you have told. And now when I see her dance and she's a good dancer, I don't question.
Makes perfect sense.
I don't question it for a second, because they have shown us something. And that's what's the problem with a stupid movie like Cleaner, is we never have any idea who she is.
She climbs out a window and then sits in it. Okay. I can't believe you would say that, Dan.
And the other big news is Voodoo Donuts opened a new location here in LA, which is right around the corner from us. Thank you,
it's
God.
that close. I saw you posted on Insta. Or you were Shannon posted it on Instagram. I can't remember. And I was like, the pictures look good.
It's right.
I'm in.
It's right by Pink's. It's where the Chipotle was. That was next to Pink's.
Oh, good. I don't really like Chipotle anyway. That's a dangerous corner now. Oh boy,
dangerous corner.
Get a little hot dog, a little donut. That's a good.
And it has like a 10 or 12 spot parking lot. So
that's nice.
Yeah, it's very nice.
Because Pink's does not.
Pink's is terrible. What do you got, Tony?
Well, yeah. Oh boy, I also have a documentary, but
what?
I have two things. So this past week, the greatest movie of all time turned 30 years old. It's, of course, Disney's A Goofy movie.
Oh, they did the documentary, didn't they?
And they did a documentary, not just a goof. I cried. I just love this. I love this movie so much. It's a wonderful movie. The doc's great. You should just watch it.
I don't like kids' movies.
It's still underrated as a movie, which is bizarre to me. And I guess it didn't do well in the theaters, which I didn't realize. But anyhow, so watch that. That's wonderful. And then we watched cover to cover over the last week, Mid-Century Modern, which is a Hulu sitcom.
Oh, is that whatchamacallit? Is that Nathan Lane?
It is Nathan Lane. And that guy, he is still got it, dude. Nathan Lane is so funny in this show.
Okay.
The rest of the cast is not quite Nathan Lane level.
Sure. Well, yeah.
But I don't even care. Like, I don't even care. He's so good. There's moments that I'm like crying laughing just from the way he delivers a basic line. I don't know how he does it. He's unbelievable. The whole show's worth a watch. There is trauma. What do you call trauma alert or whatever? There is one of the cast members passes away during the filming.
Literally,
so they do
actually.
Literally, yeah, she passed away. So they do like a whole episode tribute to her. And I was just fucking wrecked. So maybe skip episode 9 if you guys don't want to see that. But it's great. It's fun show. It's a fine show, but Nathan Lane is so good that it becomes like a good show.
It is an incredible performance that will bring up a normal show. Well, that's cool.
Yes, 100%.
You don't have 5 more things?
I mean, I have more, but maybe I won't have one for next week, so I'm saving some.
Yeah. Well,
you never know.
We were going to do a special show next week, but we're not going to do that because I don't want to.
Oh, because Dan found something.
No, I just looked at my list and there's one I wanted to do, but I don't remember what it was. So I just was looking at my list and I was like, what's a movie we should do that's going to maybe make us angry? Because we're going to be sitting there.
Get fired
it's
up.
going to make us angry.
Oh, boy. What do we do?
So we go talk to Adam Sandler because you got to talk to the Sandman.
He's my buddy. He's my boy.
And, he's not just a comedian now. He's a serious actor. He did the Uncut Gems. Then he did another movie that was serious. And that movie is Spaceman.
I don't even know what Spaceman is. What is Spaceman? Spaceman 2024.
You don't know what Spaceman is.
Where's the 6 months into a solo mission? Oh boy, a lonely astronaut confronts the cracks in his marriage with help from a mysterious creature. What is happening? What are you talking about? This isn't a movie that came out. How did I not know about this?
Spaceman. I can't believe we didn't ever talk about it.
Yeah, woof. Okay, so we're watching Spaceman.
And it might be good.
I don't think so.
Because Sandler is a decent actor.
Yeah, he's a great actor. I like him a lot, especially when he tries.
I was watching him on Conan. Conan's
recently
talk show. His internet podcast or whatever it is. I think something happened to him. I think he got broken somewhere.
Oh, that's not good.
Yeah, I think the business drove him insane, or not insane, but just stole his enjoyment of the thing he loved most in life.
Which is, I would totally buy that because, especially if you watch the trajectory of his movies, like response wise.
Yeah.
Like he went through this like highest of highs and then got real low. And now he's kind of back in favor after he's been doing some stuff. But like, that's got to fuck with you.
I think he's afraid to put himself out there because of because of the hurt that can occur through the process, which might just,
so you do safe things.
So that's why we're going to beat up on him next week.
Yeah, he'll love that. I actually met Adam Sandler once, sort of. We were in line at the Santa Monica roller coaster, and he was in front of us.
Yeah.
Me and my brother. So we said hi to him, told him we were big fans. He wasn't interested. He's having a day with his family. Oh, okay. So I was like, no, totally cool. We just wanted you to know.
Oh, well, that's nice. He was.
Yeah, no, he was. I mean, he was very nice. He wasn't rude
wasn't
at
a
all.
dick. He just was like, oh, thanks, guys.
Yeah, he was like, oh, thank you. I'm here with my family. And we're like, yeah, no, totally get it. Just wanted you to know. Enjoy your day.
Autographs, please.
But I do have this.
I do have some 8x10s. I get to work. You work for me. Oh, to be a celebrity. So we'll be doing Spaceman. Maybe it'll be good.
Can't believe I've never heard of this movie. Yeah, Spaceman.
It did not,
It didn't do much just because I never heard of it. I had Netflix when it came out, and I never heard of it.
I was doing something. I was doing some research, and I ended up on a remake of the Magnificent Seven called Magnificent Seven, just with the number, directed by Anton Fuqua.
Is that someone I should know?
He's like some weird action guy. Came out in 2018. Denzel Washington and a whole...
Oh, this is the Chris Pratt movie.
Chris Pratt. That's what it was.
Yeah. No, I know. Yeah, I've heard of this.
I put it on in the background. Wasn't watching it. Listening to Chris Pratt. Chris Pratt's truly terrible. Truly terrible.
That's a given. Maybe we should do that someday.
No.
No,
I really should.
Dan doesn't want to do it. That means we're definitely going to do it at some point.
And I did not write it down.
Yeah.
And
I'm writing it down right now. You're going to forget about that movie, and then like 6 months from now, boom, I'm going to spring it on you.
I just keep going back to Electric State and how neither of them could put in a performance that could keep you, even moderately interested.
Any no captivation. Is that a word? Yeah. Captivation?
Sure.
Yeah. No captivity? I don't know. No.
So we'll be back with Spaceman next week. If you like what you see, give us a thumbs up. All those other things.
Comment, like, subscribe. Yeah.
And we'll be back.
You're better at that than I am.
Good night, Tony.
Goodbye, everybody.
Hey, watch him!